So, wow. I feel like I am like on some kind of investigation, and like every day like I get like one more piece of the puzzle, and I'm just like, this is the weirdest, trippiest journey I have ever been on. But if you guys caught my last live, I had gotten some specific like keywords for you all, and I was trying to like put together a puzzle, so to speak. So hey Lorena, welcome. So I listed these keywords out to you that Spirit gave me. What's up, Jules? And I also was guided to give these exact specific keywords to my students at my intuitive mentorship program. And I was I was shocked because I mean a lot of them are like really new to channeling, and the stuff that they came up with was just mind-blowing. But they definitely like painted a different picture than I had really initially expected. But now the pieces are coming in even clearer today. So they put me on the right track, my students, ironically. But then it's like pointing me now to something completely like another version of this. So I'm going to go through the keywords because I feel like this is really important and it's something we need to know. So of course, entertainment purposes only, but I want to share all of the keywords and the hits that I had gotten, and that my guides were just kind of spirit, I want to say. Let's just say spirit was like hammering down. So the words were Mesopotamia, okay, was one of the keywords that I got. Constantinople was another keyword that I've gotten with all of you on here. And the other keyword was Watergate. Okay, I got Watergate really, really strong. I'm also getting something around Bolivia, all right, was another keyword that I had gotten. And I kept getting the Apostles' Creed, specifically the line, he suffered, died, and was buried. On the third day, he rose again in fulfillment of the scriptures. That specific, like, I think it's like 2 lines. I think I cut off one of the lines. And we were trying to really put this together. Now, in my intuitive group, in the program, my students started to actually like see certain people. They started to see that we were like in some way humanity and the codes to humanity had been possibly stolen in some way or was on the verge of being stolen in some way. These were some of the things that came up. We also, you know, it wasn't like the best messages. I'm not going to like relay the messages that we were getting about it. I was also hearing the good old boys over and over again. I kept hearing the good old boys. And then I was getting a lot of hits on here with links to the Ark of the Covenant and some type of like a holy portal, so to speak. So those were the hits that I was getting from Spirit. So then today I started to think more about the holy portal, okay? This portal that can go into the human consciousness. So what we were kind of picking up is that we feel that there was a certain group of men that were deeply seated in our government around the time of Watergate, because we keep getting Nixon and Watergate coming through. And we felt that there might have been a trip to Constantinople where they unveiled some kind of information linked to the Ark of the Covenant, the Holy Grail, that was very top secret. And only this group of men. Now, Frank Sinatra sings about Constantinople in a song, and then another one of my students found another song linked to that, very similar, and they mentioned Constantinople. Constantinople, I wish I could go back to Constantinople. Then we were getting Mesopotamia, very strong, and we were like, what did they find? What did they find? So it feels like they got some kind of information, some kind of key, okay, some kind of portal, some kind of ancient key in Constantinople, and they might have done some kind of a ritual as well. I'm not sure. I did see a chalice, and I did feel like there could be some kind of like a ritual or something that might have happened there that only certain people were like privy to in some way. And then I was getting messages on here in regards to these elites, okay, Trump and all of them messing with timelines, okay? That was another thing where I was getting messages that they were messing with timelines, time and space, to avoid any type of disturbances. Thank you, Carol. To avoid any type of justice, that kind of a thing. So thank you, Marie. So Mesopotamia is the modern day Iraq, and Constantinople is the modern day Istanbul, just to give you an FYI. I was getting really strong messages around Iraq when I first came back on and changed my channel back to Truth Warrior, and grid systems was coming up really strong, and these tunnel systems were coming up really strong. Then I was thinking today while I was meditating, and I was remembering, the timelines and everything that they were doing, all the timeline shifts. I couldn't figure out how they were messing with the timelines, and I think I talk about this. I mean, I have an angel tier group on Patreon. I have my student group, which is its own program. And then I'm also talking with clients. So I am constantly getting new information, and we are constantly putting together pieces through different discussions and conversations. So I, for some reason, was guided to this person last night on YouTube, and he channels the Galactic Confederation. Okay, that's what he does. He channels information, and I can't think of his name right now, and I feel really terrible. So if you guys know who he is, he has a pretty big following, but he lays down and then he puts something on his head and then he channels the Galactic Confederation. And one of his most recent videos was talking about these secret time travelers. Okay, so he was channeling messages around these secret time travelers, and his question to them was asking if these secret time travelers were messing with time and space and timelines, and what the responses he was getting back from the Galactic Confederation was that they were messing with time and space, and they were tied, or specifically tied, to elite groups, and they had these time travelers working for them in this thing, and they discovered some kind of a secret portal. Okay, and the secret portal allowed them to travel between time and space and mess with the consciousness of humanity. Okay, this is key. This is very key, because we couldn't figure out why or how they were messing with the timelines. So it's a portal, okay? It's a portal through the conscious mind. It's a consciousness, okay? Linked to Mesopotamia, Constantinople. Okay, we're going back to the 60s now. Linked to Holy Grail, Ark of the Covenant. Okay, what did they do in the 60s? What did they work on in the 60s? MK Ultra. MK Ultra. It is not a coincidence that an ex-CIA agent was on Joe Rogan's show, I believe it was last year, specifically talking about MK Ultra. MK Ultra. I asked just before I hopped on, was MK Ultra in the docks at Mar-a-Lago that Trump had? Yes, it was. Bingo! Justice, the Sun card. He got the MK Ultra docs, which were highly top secret docs linked to a portal that they found back in the 60s linked to MK Ultra. Havana syndrome is MK Ultra. That is how they've been attacking us. They've been using a wormhole portal that goes through the subconscious and conscious minds, and they travel through and they mess with humanity through this type of portal system. And that's what they got access to. So whatever was in those docs is what they got. And that's what Putin got. And that is what the enemy got a hold of. And they have the keys to humanity. So basically, what we have been trying to figure out now is we have to get the keys of humanity pretty much back up to the light and move them back. So I was being shown in my third eye today, I was being shown that I kept seeing burial grounds, okay? I kept seeing like they buried people. And I felt really strongly that there was a burial ceremony that was done to me, okay? Because I saw basically an empty grave lot that they had put things in that were connected to my energy field. This is what my guides had shown me, like, I want to say like last year or something like that. And I saw this, again, I got a vision of the same site today, the same burial ground, these empty burial lots, okay, that they dug. They dug these graves and they put stuff in the graves. And when I started to go back to the graves today, I was guided by my spirit guides to place a rainbow light over the graves and lift up everything that was buried in these graves. So I don't know if this is linked. This feels recent, whatever this is here, but I was guided to bring it back up to the light. And it is linked to one of the keys to humanity. I was getting specifically like the heart key or something along those lines. But there's something with the keys. So I believe there's either 7 or 8 keys. And this is a big component to the MK Ultra is the keys. So I'm wondering if it is linked back to the Holy Land, the keys to humanity in some way. If it's like the Ark of the Covenant, the Holy Grail, the Magna Carta, the female womb. Like, I'm wondering if it's like these are the keys, and then they in some way recreated these keys to access them and recreate this same portal system, so to speak. But I just thought that this was just so mind-blowing today. And like I said, I keep getting more information about this like every day. And it's like, it's very important that we have this understanding and this knowledge of what got leaked out by Trump and who it got leaked to, because it's very important. It's very important. Now, I would say like 3 days ago, I would say we were kind of in a, like, after my intuitive meetup, I was like, we were kind of like, oh, we're in trouble, you know, with the messages we were getting were pretty, they were pretty dire, okay? Now I would say like 2 days after that and all of the information I've received, I would say, okay, maybe it's not as dire anymore because we are getting more information, okay? We're getting more information every day about what they've been doing, but they got this information from Trump, and he is an enemy of not only the country, but the world. And I also, in this session with my students, we were getting messages around a whole other energy that I never even picked up on before, but one of my students could pick up on it. And it was that Trump is owned. Trump is owned. And I had never seen these owners before, okay? I had never seen these people before. They were so behind the scenes. They were so hidden from where I could see. It looks or even feel energetically, they almost don't even feel human. They almost feel like they are a humanoid, okay? That's almost like the energy of them. But it feels like it's a female and a male that own him. And I keep getting hits on like Saudi Arabia. That's what I keep getting. So I was thinking the whole time that he was owned by Putin, but we were getting a whole other we're getting different owners for Trump, okay? He is owned. So when Trump came on last week and said, if you arrest me, they will kill us all, he wasn't lying, okay? They have the keys, okay? Those people that own him, they want to destroy us, whoever they are. I tried to do some work on them. I basically just started to send light and love energy to them, and just the darkest, grossest energy was coming off of them. I mean, they're definitely Satanists. They're definitely like, they are not, I don't know. I'm almost like, they might not even be full human. Like, I don't know who they are. But whoever owns him is very, very lethal. They're very, very dark. And we saw them in a room, and it's like they held some kind of keys. And so it's very, very interesting that this new information was emerging, and who this actual real threat is to us behind the veil. Because Trump is just the puppet, and he's just bought goods. There is somebody running the show behind him who is not from this country, okay? It's another country. And so I think that there could be some important information coming to light, possibly to intelligence, realizing that there is like a whole other machine behind the machine right now. Because that's what it feels like energetically. So I really feel like this new information that's coming to light is what's causing the delays in Manhattan right now, because we are realizing that this is a global threat, and it is not just Trump and co. against us. It is international, okay? It is global what this threat is. And as I'm saying that, I'm just like I almost like choke on the words, you know what I mean? Like I choke on the words. So it is, I'm getting so many chills on all of these messages for you all. It's a lot coming to the surface right now. Whew. It's a lot. And so with Trump and co., I just kind of want to let you guys know that they are not going to go down until the machine behind them goes down. And that's a global threat, okay? That's a global threat. And they're trying to destroy and take out humanity. And it feels like they got a hold of some pretty major intelligence, okay? Major intelligence, thanks to Trump.com, okay? So so this is where we're at right now. And I think that this is very much 4D energy, because the 4D energy is about the collective. It's about the world. It's about the whole. And I find it not to be a coincidence that this isn't just about the US right now, that what's running him is global. And that's where now the United States has to focus their energies toward, as well as all of our alliances. Like we would all have to be focusing now on this global search for these people and how they are operating and what they have access to. And I also was getting the nuclear codes as well. I thought it was really interesting too. Another student of mine, she saw a man in his 30s that had the codes, and he's the same man I saw. I saw the same man in my dream who had the codes. So it feels like, and I'm hearing the nuclear doc. So it feels like they got a lot of information during his administration. He was basically bought and sold nonetheless. As I was saying, I got the sun. I can't believe like what and how. I mean, I can, but like, I'm still like, what the hell? Like, we were invaded on such a level. It's just uncanny, like to the degree of it. I keep hearing something about a space cowboy, and I am getting some information. Like, they keep showing me they keep showing me the movie Armageddon with Ben Affleck, and there's like a group of these regular guys, right? They get chosen to save the world, right? And they go up to space for this secret mission to save the world. But there's like a joke in the middle of the movie, and they show you that they're not alone up there. And then there's like one Russian astronaut who's hanging around like with Sputnik or whatever. It's just kind of a joke, but it's something that I keep being shown is them in the space land. And I'm also getting messages now tied to Elon. So there could have been a break-in into space through Elon in some way, like this foreign dignitary got in because he took Russian billionaires up to space, okay? And that was, I felt very like question marky right around the time of the Twitter exchange when he was buying Twitter, and also at the start of the Ukraine war. And I thought that was very questionable at that point. So they're just mentioning that. I also was getting messages that there is some kind of like space intelligence of sorts. So I guess there's a group of some space intelligence I was getting messages on. Like, we might have space intelligence, or somebody might have space intelligence to figure out what they're doing up there and how they're manipulating technologies and energies. So Sparrow is saying, I just heard this song lyric. Some people call me a space cowboy in a song yesterday. Yeah, it definitely keeps coming up over and over again. I keep hearing it like over and over again. I also don't know, like, I don't know how much we know got out. Like, I'm not sure if we know exactly how much got out, but it is interesting because, you know, whatever you want to call this weapon, you know, you call it an energy weapon, you can call it MK Ultra, you can call it Havana Syndrome. It feels like it's all in the same land, so to speak, and it is a form of mind control, and it is a break-in into your subconscious and conscious mind, okay? So it is somewhat of a portal system. And it's funny because Sparrow had mentioned that they were broke into some kind of a portal system. Now, MK Ultra was designed to be used on, you know, our biggest enemy, and now our biggest enemy has MK Ultra. So that's really where the flip is right now, okay, on humanity. And there is a double-edged sword to MK Ultra, because I believe that I'm a victim of MK Ultra. The double-edged sword of it is that in your conscious mind, I almost feel like you have more of an awareness of things because of whatever this is. And maybe they're breaking into my conscious mind or subconscious mind in some way with this technology, but I can see them too. So I don't know. It kind of goes both ways in a weird way. So kind of an interesting thing. So I'm going to pull just some cards for us, but This stuff's important because we're not putting the pieces together correctly with what really happened. And this is the stuff that is really important right now for the collective to understand and digest, like the all of it. It's very important right now. I got the sun, okay? And so I do think it's so beautiful that we have such amazing spiritual leaders out there. Thank you, Violet Flame, that are aware and they can channel the Galactic Confederation. They can get messages for the collective. They can help to bring in more enlightenment. I do think that's super important for their role right now to keeping people positive and enlightened. But for people in government and people who are victims of this weapon and technology and people who understand more of the physical reality of it and the implications of it and the plan and the agenda behind it, that's very important too as a light worker right now, is to bring the information into perspective, okay, into what's really happening down here right now on the earth plane, okay? So that's another part of this. It's another piece to the puzzle, you know? So it's very important that we understand what has happened and why it's gotten to this level. Because I feel that this information leaking out is a lot of why our planet has suddenly shifted to 4D and is trying to shift to 5D, because we have to ascend this technology and these energies right now. And it is a spiritual war. That is what is going on. I felt like I was being attacked last night by what felt to be an alien, but it could have been a machine, okay? You know, you just don't know, actually. But it's very violating and invasive. If anything happens to you all that feels weird, like, and when I say attacked, it is painful. Like, it's hurting that region, okay? They were hurting the region of my female organs, okay? And it was very painful, and it felt like they were taking something from me, almost harvesting something from me. And it's scary and painful. And I don't know who this is on the other side of this technology, this blue light that I'm seeing all the time. I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's a bunch of space cowboys. I don't know if it's the good old boys. I don't know if it's some generals. I don't know if it's Russians. I don't know who is on the other side of this weapon. I don't know who it is, but I know that there are humans connected to this weapon. I know that it's linked to elite groups and secret societies. That I do know. I do know that. But if anything happens to you all, any type of attacks like this, if you feel like you're being intruded on in any way, hurt or physically, you can report it to the Galactic Confederation of Light. That sounds so far out, but we're in the 4D now, and your words carry such power. All you have to do is just say it out loud. I report whoever is attacking me right now to the Galactic Confederation of Light. They are violating my human rights, divine laws, and I report them. And I'm telling y'all, within seconds, there is a light energy that I see come into my third eye that comes in and moves them out of my energy field. So if they're human, if it's technology, whatever it is, they don't have the rights to violate us, and they have gone too far. They have violated the laws of humanity. They have violated free will, and they have violated divine laws. And they're aware of that, okay? They are aware of what information got out, okay? So it is important that, there we go, breaking the chain. We have to break that chain. They don't own us. They don't have rights to us. And just because they figured it out doesn't mean they get to access us whenever they want, okay? We do have to take back authority over ourselves, our body, and reclaim it back. And also, as part of this 4D, I guess these 4D gifts, so to speak, you can send all of their technologies back to them. You can send it all back, okay? That is part of our human right. You can send it back. If you feel like you're being attacked or microwaved, you can send it all back, because we're all energy and they don't have our permission to use these weapons on us. So you can send everything back, everything back. Diseases they try to send us, if they're trying to send any type of cancer cell attacks, whatever they're doing, you can send it all back to them. All back. Anything. Black magic. Everything goes back to them. And that is part of us, I guess, our new protection, so to speak. You can send every bit of energy back to them that they tried to send to you. Now, the key here is what my guys are saying right now is awareness, okay? You have to have the awareness that is happening to you, right, in order to know that. If you don't have the awareness, I would just say I send back every day. I would just say I send back everything that the enemy has sent me. I send it all back, all back, all back, sending it all back to them no matter what, just as like a daily ritual. I keep getting breaking the chain here. So definitely sending it all back. You do have that right. They don't have authority over you. And we just have to be more vigilant around it and aware. Like there has to be like a consciousness around what they're actually doing, kind of a thing. How they are breaking and violating human codes right now. So any other messages that we have right now, God angels, any other messages that we have right now for the collective in regards to these shifts, these major energy shifts, and this information as well? Any other messages that we have right now? Okay, so we have Min Tonkin coming through. Okay, and this talks about a longing for home, belonging, and the original light workers. So I'm going to ask for a channeled message on this. So what is this message about? What is this message about? What is this message about? They're trying to help us to see how powerful we are as light workers now, remembering who we are. We are the original light workers. Definitely bringing a lot of that into focus right now. We are definitely the original light workers. They're showing me this like beautiful aqua aura crystal right now. This is really where our energy can go. Like when they were showing me the burial plots, this was the energy they had me cleaning the plots with and taking it up to the light. Rainbow energies. Rainbow energies is a big one right now. It's like unicorn energy. It's very omnipotent energies. So working with more of this rainbow type energy is very, very potent. I don't know if it's like iridescent. I can't think of like the actual prismatic. That's it. Prismatic energies is what I'm getting guidance on, is prismatic energies. And I feel like it's all a work in progress. So the more we just keep putting our heads together and getting messages around this, the more we bring it to the light and we can heal it and, in turn heal the world, heal humanity. I'm also getting really strong about putting like love blankets around the world, really strong, just enveloping the world in love blankets, specifically like pinks right now, and even like maybe even teal colors, but like really enveloping the world in these love blankets, okay? Because that keeps us at higher vibrations and higher frequencies. And the higher our frequencies are, then we ascend these technologies. It's going to be an interesting time, y'all. It's going to be a very interesting time because I don't know if these weapons, once we ascend these energies, are actually ever going to work again. Like their weapons might not work if we get the vibration high enough on the planet. And that's their fear, I think. That is their fear, is that we end up getting the planet to such a high level of consciousness and vibration that nothing they do works anymore. I do feel like there is kind of like this plan about that. There's definitely, they not only have they been messing with humans, but they've been messing with the planet. They messed with Schumann resonance. They've messed with the ley lines. They have messed with the grid systems. They have rerouted and recreated their own grid systems. They've created a false matrix. They have created false light technologies, false light gods, false light, everything. They've recreated a version of us, so to speak, in their own form of like a matrix. They also have messed with the weather mapping. That's why China had the weather balloons. That's all part of it. That is all part of it. They were taking stock of the weather patterns and everything, and then from that information, they're able to adjust or change the weather so it's more catastrophic in some way. So yeah, they've been messing with everything you can imagine. Space, timelines. Like when they're going and traveling between time and space to fix their timelines, they're messing all of our timelines up, and that's a problem, obviously. So that's another part of the situation. So you can just take all their timelines and just delete them. Just delete them. Delete them, give them to God, delete them. Just get rid of them. Delete everything. Delete their entire matrix. Just delete it. Delete it. Obliterate it. Destroy it. And as we do that, as we clear those energies out, we're not going to be as drawn to false light anymore. And that's in terms of everything, in terms of like jobs, shopping, monies, all of that kind of stuff. It's literally like we're going to be more drawn to imperfect things versus perfect things, okay? Because that's part of that matrix as well, as like this perfection kind of a thing. Yeah, so definitely was getting that really strong. So yeah, you just want to delete everything they're doing. Just delete it, expunge it, get rid of it. Everything they're doing is not aligned to source, because you can't destroy source energy, okay? So you can't do anything to that energy at all, because if it's source energy, it won't hurt it. It won't hurt it. So the only way it would hurt the energy if it's false light, that's the only way it would hurt their energy, okay? That's the only way. If it's of source light and divine, it would never be destroyed. But nothing they're doing is of source light. Nothing they are doing is of source light. Everything they have created, their technologies and everything, it's all false light. So, all right, y'all. Well, I'll leave you guys there. If you guys are interested in a reading, you guys can book with me. Also, I am starting my next intuitive program in the beginning of April. If you guys are interested in signing up for that, you guys can definitely do that. And Sparrow is just mentioning the timelines. Yeah, pure timelines are aligned with source light. So you can't mess up the timelines, so to speak. They've created timelines that mask over what's supposed to happen. So if you just get rid of them, everything realigns. It's just kind of like what they do. I keep getting timeline extensions for them. Timeline extensions is what I keep hearing. It's like an extension of a timeline, but they are time traveling and going back into lifetimes and getting information or doing something like that. It's very like Back to the Future type stuff that they're doing. But anyways, I will leave you guys there. I could talk about this all day. So I'm sending you so much love, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.